did. This meeting should be that one. Yeah, this one. Okay, so every team meeting, we pick a song for a specific reason. So the reason for that song is something happening. If my clicker works. That's why. Chelsea, her debut is this Thursday, and that's her first song she's going to be singing. So mark your calendars. Kiss Bar and Grill, which is at 2550 South Campbell. She's actually on 92.9 doing an interview this morning. That's why she's not here. So anyway, we wanted to throw that up there. Wear your green so you don't get pinched, but Thursday night, because it is St. Pat's Day, 7 to 10. So wanted to let everybody know about that. Welcome, Rachel.
Hello. I'm not on his energy. Keep chugging.
She has a little drink. I have a big drink. First off, if you're a vendor in here and you see the red Solo cup over there, please drop a business card in there. You'll see why here in a little bit. Okay, lots of fun stuff today. You'll notice Tim is not here. He's on assignment. You'll see why shortly, assuming technology works. Yeah. All right, Sam Hayes drew a stripe. I don't know how to get rid of that.
Yep.
Okay, as we do that, okay, so first off, all agents need to grab your business card. If you don't have one, you get one next time. It's time for offering. So let's pass the buckets. Let's go one every other row. And when it gets to you over here, pass it that way. There you go. Business cards. Start bringing them from now on. We'll find out why.
Here, I'll take them. Can you put one in this? Okay.
I don't give them to clients.
So why do we do that? You're gonna find out later. We're not telling you yet. Okay, starting off, we usually start with mission moment each day, and those of you who are at the awards, by the way, award ceremony was incredible Saturday night.
Yes.
If you were not there, your Capper Club award is up at the front with Ashley.
Yep, and your certificates.
And Brian Fisher, are you on the line?
I saw him.
Is he still there?
Howdy.
Hey,
Oh.
did you hear anything about Saturday night?
A couple people texted me. Yeah, thank you guys immensely.
Brian won.
Rookie of the Year. He is
So we just want to say congratulations. Your award is actually in Tim's wife's car. It will be here sometime today or tomorrow. So we're still recouping from doing a Saturday night event. So anyway, so I wanted to recognize everybody that got awards. It was a fun event. Thank you all for coming. And as you know, every week we do a mission moment. We've changed the name of it. As we told about this at the meeting the other night, it is now called the Steppis Award. And what we're going to be doing with it is there's a traveling award that goes to somebody for each week. It will have a plaque on it saying the Steppis Award soon. So this will be handed from person to person instead of Speedy. But also when you win, you get an actual toy soldier that goes on your desk or wherever so you can keep that forever. So our goal is after a year or 2 years, you see toy soldiers all over the building showing the culture you've won and honoring Ron. So that's kind of the thing we're going for there. So
sad day for Speedy. He's now retired. So.
yes.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Actually, that was like Speedy 4, I think.
Yeah, Speedy 4.0.
Yeah, because he'd been broken so many times. So.
Bye, Speedy.
Bye, Speedy. A moment of silence for Speedy.
What?
Try not to break this stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
please, let's try not to break the Steppis Award in the first week.
Yes. Okay, so we pulled up the notes. So the winner last week was Kim Mooneyham. And so the first official winner of the Ron Steppis Award is Guy Calloway. Here's what she said. Guy, every agent needs a guy in their life. He amplifies KW culture. Guy was one of my first friends at KW. What a blessing he has been. No matter the time of day, he's always there. Thank you for all your help and always answer my calls. You are the best. So that's Kim's statement on Guy. So the first actual Steppis Award. So we're excited about that. I'm anxious when we see little toy soldiers
I
all
know,
over the
I'm
place.
so excited for that. And you'll have to send a picture to Guy since he's on spring break. So
That's
he can
right,
know
we
what
did
it is.
that. Okay, lots of stuff. Oh, this is another thing we're doing. You want to talk about this, Rachel?
Yeah, so at our old building, Ron always wanted this large flag out in the front of our building, and one, we didn't own the building, so that was very impossible to do. So in honor of Ron, this is a mock-up, but we are actually gonna get this flagpole to put in the front of our office. With COVID delays, all of that, we're experiencing probably another 4 to 5 months whenever we get it installed. So as soon as we do, we'll have a nice little ceremony in order to honor him.
So we're excited about that. Just what a guy to be the culture person. Ron just touched so many lives in Keller Williams through a thing called Team National, through a lot of stuff around the country. It was amazing to see the tributes on him. So we're happy to be able to honor him. Okay, calendar. Yes, you're at a team meeting. We didn't put it on because of spring break, but then we realized a lot of people don't go on spring break. Or you bring your kids in here or your pets or whatever. So anyway, anything big we need to tell them about on training here?
So Win with Buyers, and I know we have another slide coming up, but
Jump to it.
perfect, there we go.
Look at that.
So Win with Buyers. So the first one is with Jen Davis. This is actually gonna be in our training center from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. If you have not registered, I recommend doing it today because we're probably gonna be sold out today. This event she actually shared it publicly on her Facebook page. And so we have people from Joplin coming in. We're trying to keep it down here in the market center. So if you don't get registered today, it's probably gonna be sold out. And we need to know for materials and all of that.
And if you're online, Nicole just threw up the Win with Buyers link right there.
You can also go see Ashley and she can help get you registered for that as well. But this, in perspective, this is a free training class that we're bringing to our market center. She is traveling in the next month to go to another region to teach it, and she's actually getting paid, and everybody has to pay like $200, $300 to attend the class. So make sure you get signed up. This is a free class, and you'll hear from one of the top buyers agents, not only in our market center, but in the country. The next one is 6 Personal Perspectives. Dan Holt is teaching that. We're really getting back to our KWU foundation. And so a lot of this is through the training courses provided to us by Keller Williams International. And sorry that there's a line on there, but the 6 Personal Perspectives, it's the foundational perspectives to propel you to the highest level of achievement. This is again 9 to 5 free here in our training center. Make sure you get registered with that. Nicole has put the link in the chat as well to sign up, and then you can also see Ashley to register as well.
Before you go to the next two.
Yep.
Those 2 classes are mentioned every week on our national call with Mark King and Jason Abrams. Dan and Jen are amazing nationwide, and we get them as a resource here for free.
For free, yep. So make sure you get registered for those because those will be packed house and we'll have lunch provided for that as well. Continuing education. So we are going to have 1 core and 1 elective class. This is going to be at Relics Event Center on April 7th, 9 to 12, and then 1 to 4 is the class. Nicole, also thank you, Nicole, for putting the link in the chat to get registered. It's going to be $30 per person. We're actually having somebody from the Missouri Association of Realtors coming down to train this. The first one is more of a classroom style. The second one is like a Jeopardy format. So they said it's really fun. It's about seller agency relationships and then the best of the legal line. So those are the 2 classes you can use.
And what happens if you don't do your continuing ed by the end of the year?
You don't get to be a real estate agent anymore.
Oh,
Yeah.
it might be good to do this.
And so for the other classes that you would need for your hours, we're working through Kaplan. So with the K-score, they're also coming out with the CE classes for that. And the benefit for that is with our agents doing it, when our agents register that, the portion that they receive, they're actually going to profit share back to our market center. So again, it's only going to help our market center as we go through that course to do it. So I'm working on getting a link for the other remaining classes that you can do. And then House of Friends, is Nancy in here? Is Nancy, are you online? I don't know if she's on there. Okay, do you want to talk about House of Friends?
Yeah, what's cool, we have so many of our agents leading things through the board, through our community. And this is an event coming up that we want to make you aware of, April 21st. So we'll get more info as it gets closer. But there are so many 80s themed events this year. I'm so ready for it. So anyway, we'll have more info coming on that, but there's a lot of events. That's a way to grow your downline and make passive income. Connect with agents outside of this room. Go to events they're going to. Build relationships.
And one thing I didn't mention on the calendar, on March 24th, we're actually doing free headshot day again. That's the same day as Jen's class. So if you want to sign up, you can use the Google form. We're doing it in like 10 or 15 minute increments. So if you missed that last time, here's your opportunity to get some free headshots.
Very cool. Let's see what we put next. Okay, numbers for the week. It's eerie how similar it is to last year, because as I'm tracking and looking at everything, it's very similar. Here, this is last year's, and that is this week, this year. So this is a kind of a comparison, but the drops and the ups are lining up. It's not exactly the same as you'll see on one of the other slides coming, but it's very familiar feel to last year, which as we get into numbers, you're going to see somehow, some ways that's good and some ways it's bad.
Well, how cool is it that you've been tracking this for so long? You can actually say that it's tracking as it was last year.
We have a trend. Get that screenshot. I won't change it yet. So it was taking pictures. I changed it. Since we take these trends, we can look at it and see what's going on. That way we're prepared ahead of time.
It's like you created your own multi-year trend.
Yeah. By the way, don't call people you're not supposed to. Don't get illegal. Don't get banned. Don't get litigation against you or the company. Thank you.
Check that off.
Yes. Okay. Eastern agents. And the reason we do these, we have a ton of agents out to the east. Waynesville, Kabul.
Lebanon, Crocker, Rolla.
And some of they even hit different MLSs. That's how wide we are as KW. And then we have some people to the north also. So that's why we do these more specific for their areas. And we email those out to them each week also. Here's the big one to look at. This is the running total of active listings as of Monday morning. So we dropped to 541. We were at 550. But again, if you watch the trend from last year, it's very similar. Not quite the same. We're actually lower by about 35, 36 units. And when you look over here compared to where we were, that's a big change also.
So since your prediction was pretty spot on last year, what do you think your prediction is now?
Okay, it's gonna be a huge year. There are and when you see our numbers from last month, you're gonna see this. And we're outpacing Keller Williams because we've been hearing the doom and gloom from a couple market centers. And as we look at our numbers, we're like, we're doing things the right way. There are a ton of sales going on, but you got to be aggressive. You got to go after them. It's not going to just come to you. You've got to be alert. You've got to be talking to your people. Like we talked last week, if you're not talking to your people, 12.7 other agents are being judged on how well they do talk to them.
Yep.
So you got to stay in connection with your people. Hey there, come on in. Okay, Tim does a book club each week and it's on the Happiness Advantage this month. This was our guest speaker or keynote speaker at Family Reunion. Anything you want to say on him?
Sean Acor, he's a phenomenal speaker. If you guys missed it by chance, you can definitely go back to KW Connect. I've heard Mike play it probably 3 times at this point, just plays it on his screen. So I would definitely recommend to go back and watch that.
Becky and I watched it. That was our Saturday night movie.
Yeah.
No, Sunday night. I guess we were at the event Saturday. But this thing is so important. We're going to see if we can do like a lunch and learn. It's about an hour and a half. It is not about real estate.
Yeah.
But it will change your mindset on how you look at some of the things going on. And we're going to try and open up to anybody. I've sent it to a bunch of friends saying, you got to watch this.
One of my favorite things was it asked what 3 things you were grateful for every single day. And that's something Trey and I have started doing because every day it's something different. And you're learning and you're reprogramming your brain to think positively about it.
So I've got a text every 2 o'clock on Tuesday. Every day I've got to send a grateful text to somebody.
That's cool.
Remember why he said to do this.
Go ahead.
If we ask people, no.
I slept it in.
Yeah.
But go for it.
Okay, so if we ask somebody to state what you're grateful for, you're gonna say my family, my food, my job. If you search for 3 different things, 3 things that happened within the last 24 hours, then you get a little bit more specific. But what happens after 8 days, your brain starts scanning for the good in the world. It's not just looking at the same things over and over. This is not about what you're actually grateful for. It's about training your brain to look for positive things in there. So we're going to challenge you all. Every day, look for somebody, send a 2-minute text, he said, or 2-minute text would be a long one. Take 2 minutes, send a text or an email to somebody you're grateful for. And it could be something simple, it could be something huge, but something that's happened in the last 24 hours, it's going to change your brain.
I feel like we practice that in bold too.
It's amazing. It's like our concepts work on everything. Okay, slides from the board. Okay, C2EX. This is a new designation. I don't know exactly what it is yet. Anybody in here that's done it? Anyone online? I need to get more info, but it's a coming thing nationwide that seems like it's a really good designation to have. I just don't know enough about it yet. So we'll check on that, but I want to make you aware of it.
Commitment to excellence, is that what it
That's what it
stands
stands for, but I don't know exactly what the main focus of it is. Brian Jackson,
This is a good one.
what happens with MLS boxes at daylight savings time?
They leave you standing on the front porch at 7:15 in the morning.
So your boxes did not change time. If you've got the timer set on there, it may not be open until 8 or 9 for some people now. We just happened to see his post on Facebook yesterday that happened.
That's funny.
If you don't know how to get in and change your times on there, we can show you, but you can adjust it where it's either open all the time, set for certain times, but that's easy to do. All right, events. The GSBR Awards and Events Committee, or I can't talk. The party is coming up March
Award celebration.
25th or 26th. There you go. 880 seats available. I think there's like 40 left. Yeah, it's going to be huge. It's going to be fun. We're taking some KW twist and putting into the whole GSBR thing. So it's going to be a fun evening. But if you haven't gotten a ticket, it may be too late pretty quickly. So get on that fast. And there's the Gsbr calendar at a glance. Of course, everybody gets this every Sunday night. If you're not getting it, check if you've got your settings lined up right. But you get an award or an email from the board every Sunday telling you what's coming up, just to be aware of things.
And it looks like they also have some CE happening in April as well. So that's a way to get some more
Yeah.
elective credits.
I think those cost a little more. I don't remember, but you can get it all done and not have to worry.
Yeah, it's $140.
The
$140.
class.
No, for the whole package.
12 hours.
You get your 12 hours.
All 12.
It's 2 days of classes.
Okay.
Okay. One way or the other, we don't care how, get your CE done before December 31st.
And when do they have to have their CE done by?
Isn't it? Oh,
Brokers are June 30th and salespersons is September 30th. So make sure you get that. Be proactive within it. If not, I'm sure you'll hear a lot of calls from Ashley and Nicole here in the coming months if we're not up to date on it. One thing to point out though, if whenever you submitted your application, if you did not allow us to see your CE credits, we can't help you and tell you how many you've completed and how many more you need. So if you want that to change, there's also a form that we can get to you that you can send to the MREC so we can see your credits. That way, as we're going through the process, we can look on the Missouri Real Estate Commission and say, okay, Kevin's done 9 of his credits. He just needs 3 more. But without that, we unfortunately can't see it. And that's gonna have to be a call to the MREC for you.
exactly. So our vendors, who's online today? Anyone?
Saw Casey Cooper online and Patty Maples is on.
And we've started something new. So our vendors put cards up here. So let's see, let's go with people in here first. Where's Cam Herrera? Hop up, tell us about you real quick.
All right, so I am an independent insurance broker. I specialize in home and auto. Where the main thing is that I can give you quotes in 2 minutes just by going online. Or you can call me directly, and I have over 40 carriers to kind of fit every need.
Very cool. George Brockman, where are you?
George Brockman with the Chosen Home Warranty. We give your clients the power to choose their own contractor for service. Game changer.
Very cool. Jonathan Rodhouse.
Jonathan with 417 Reiki. You make changing the locks on homes fast and easy, so you guys don't even have to leave the office.
And Jessica Bowman.
Hey guys, Jess Bowman, Bowman Insurance Group. We've been a KW vendor for over 10 years, and we work with a lot of you guys, and we really appreciate you.
So why on earth did I have them put, who's online anyway? Did you
Amy
say?
Hunsaker Williams with Collective Home Staging, Patty Vic-Morowski, and then Casey Cooper.
So we will learn through family reunion, it's very important to get a social connection going again. So we're encouraging people to come to our meetings. So if you would please,
Oh, gosh.
don't
Pressure.
look, choose one.
Pressure.
Wisely.
Jim Herrera.
Cam Herrera
Thanks, George, for that one.
with a gift card to No Bake Cookie Dough. Nicole's going, oh, I'm jealous.
Yeah.
So that's for you. Congratulations. So you never know when you might win something without even knowing that you're playing a game. So, all right, real quick, HSA.
I don't know if they were online. Do we want Casey to?
Yeah, let's have Casey talk. We'll just throw this slide up so people can see also. Casey, are you there?
I am here. Not a lot of news. Rates have been going up consistently over the last 2 weeks. Please, 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 when you see a post online about the Fed's hiking their rates this week, correct those people and let them know it's not our interest rates. That's the interest rate that the Fed charges banks for their money, because it's a pet peeve of mine.
I'm sure.
So if somebody says that, you say, Casey said it ain't true.
That's fine. Tag me in it, everything.
There we go. Okay, some info from HSA on different things to do with your warranty. I recommend on all our warranty companies, get a warranty on every listing you have. Well, it's a little different with how it's going with things selling so fast, but it covers during inspections and all kinds of other stuff. So it's important to look at that. Would you like to come up?
Yeah, sure, why not? Okay, if I don't know you, I'm Tori Hunt with Onward Agent Services.
You are?
I
All
am,
right.
yeah. And we offer transaction coordination services, database and marketing. So come see us if there's any back-end services that are really a pain, taking a lot of time, and we want to help you out. But our tip for today actually is with your database. So when you're closing out a file that you just closed, make sure you go back into that contact and update their address. Good way to stay on top of your database, stay out in front of your people, that's your past client, tag them accordingly. You can do smart plans too. If you don't want to do that, talk to us. We offer that with our TC services. But yeah, that's our tip for today.
Very
So,
cool.
Yeah.
So one thing our team does every time we do a closing, we change the address like she said, and then we put them on a home anniversary smart plan. So every year you're touching base with them. So all these smart plans will make your life easier and they'll set them up for you. But that's, the more you use smart plans, your life will be a lot easier. Just, I can't say that over and over enough.
And then Denton, did you want to come introduce yourself?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. USA Mortgage, let's.
That's right.
He's here, and- yeah.
We didn't need Casey after all.
Casey asked me if I want to come and say anything today, and I was like, I don't really have anything.
You just
but,
come and introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name's Denton Thomas. I am with USA Mortgage. I am in the office quite a bit up there, so if you want to stop by and say hi, learn a little bit about me, and I can learn something about you guys, so.
Yeah, he's been in the office almost every single day. So if you haven't met him, I definitely encourage to stop and introduce yourself.
Yep, and I've got calendars and flyers and other things if you guys ever need anything like that.
Very cool. Okay, broker moment. Jim, what do we have?
I can stay here, right?
Yes.
Okay. Switching the camera?
Yes. Smile. Oh, broken.
Right. Hey, one of the things, how many uses electronic documents now? It's a consistent problem that you're not doing a very good job with them. Because your clients, you cannot just send a package of 23 pages of documents to them to get signed and expect them to understand the contract. You really can't. And we've had failures there. I've had clients that say, I never received anything, even though they did. I will still suggest to you with older people that are like 30 or older, physically deliver contracts to them because it says once they sign that they've received a copy of all documents. I know you've read that on the contract a number of times, right? But I would suggest that we see that quite a bit. The other thing you can do, and I've seen this used recently, which I think is not a bad idea. So you send them electronic documents, they get the documents, and then you go FaceTime with them. You know what that is, right? Okay, I don't, but I mean, you FaceTime with them while you're going through the documents, just like you would if you were sitting face to face with them. It's not as good, but it's close. And you need to be able to paraphrase at least the contract as you go through it. Because, when you say, what title company do you choose? What are they going to do?
No.
Yeah. You understand the inspection paragraph, page 7, all of that? I don't know. So, these things are really important, and it will become more and more of a problem. I'm hoping I retire prior to the next audit. So that,
Me too.
yeah, all those things. And I have a concern, I'll tell you this, and I want you to know up front. You're writing contracts and then sending to me the document that executes designated agency the day you close because you want to get paid. Now, I don't know how closely they look at the contracts, but if you wrote the contract January 1st and you send it to me in February for a signature, I don't know that I've actually appointed you as a designated agent at that point. I don't believe I have. It could be a legal question. We don't have any attorneys in here, so we won't ask that. I am concerned about it. That's why I wanted to at least talk about that. Normally, I just let you slide right through the meeting, but I want you to think about it when you're doing this electronically, and especially, with the way the market is. You're having to get everything over there quick. You better still explain it because we're going to have problems if we don't. And hopefully Don will be able to take care of those.
So the best thing is to follow the system. Do a buyer's employment or consultation, sign that form right then. Because technically you aren't hired until you get that form done, correct?
Yeah, you're a sub-agent to the seller when you're showing houses. And I know all of you knew that already, but I want to explain it to you again. So you have a client that calls you and says, I want to see this house on Kimbrough. And you say, no problem, I'll pull up all the documents and I'll meet you there and we've got to be ready to write and all that. You walk in the door, you show them the house and you write up the contract and then you maybe include the agency documents in. You're working for the seller. So if you suggest to them, I think it's priced a little high, or whatever you suggest to them, you're actually working for the seller, not for the buyer at that point, because you don't have a contract with them. And don't tell me about implied buyer's agency, because it doesn't exist. There's no such thing as implied buyer's agency. You either have a contract or you don't.
In writing or it didn't happen.
That's right. Doesn't exist. Doesn't exist.
Very
Happy conversation.
Yes. Can you jump to that other, it's a tab, so we're jumping gears a little bit here. I think it's that one. So we're gonna watch a quick video, then you'll
A
see
recent
why.
study shows that only 23% of former foster kids are raising their own kids right now. The majority are in the same cycle their parents were years ago. It's something an area family is trying to change. And Dogwood Ranch is seeing success in that area by enjoying an Ozarks life. Down a narrow road, somewhere between Ozark and Rogersville, is a place GPS cannot find, but a place where a kid can find a lot.
We've always had a heart for kids that have needed family. Come on, babies.
I first introduced you to Dana and Brian Lopez back in 2008.
Helping some children who have experienced abuse and neglect early on in life.
13 years ago, the couple had a dream, and that's about it. They borrowed property to start Dogwood Ranch. At its core, it's horses, which provide equine therapy for foster kids.
With kiddos that have experienced significant abuse and neglect in their childhood growing up, they sometimes have an aversion to work and to trust people because people have not always been there for them in the most healthy, supportive ways. So there's something about working with horses that just unlocks the heart of our kids.
By 2015, the Lopez family had their own piece of property. A permanent version of Dogwood Ranch is home now to 18 horses for the organization's Healing Reins therapy program.
This is Romeo.
This past year, with more room came more help. Dogwood Ranch added this program, The Haven, a pair of small houses to you and me, but a home for the young women in crisis.
Think about what happens for a lot of our youth that age out of the system. They end up kind of entering adulthood without a lot of support, not a lot of safe support around them.
For between 9 and 12 months, these women pay rent for the space and receive counseling to reinvent themselves.
They have what it takes to work that job, to budget those finances, and to really make those adult decisions so that they can see some success.
Just a small ride up from the Haven on Dogwood Ranch is the newest piece of land. 27 adjoining acres they just bought. It almost doubles their size. More room for the horses, and the ranch's next endeavor, the village.
To be standing on this ground right now, oh, I get a little emotional just talking about it because it's been a long time in coming.
Eventually, Dogwood Ranch wants 7 or 8 single-family homes on this property for their village. It's a community for foster families to house the kids the state considers hard to place.
What we find is if we're not careful, we end up with a whole lot of kids being raised in facilities and group homes when really we believe they need moms and dads and annoying little brothers and sisters and grandparents that spoil the heck out of them, right? And so family is really the key in helping rehabilitate and recreate family in a healthy sense for so many of our foster youth.
Dana and Brian have raised more than 3 dozen foster girls on their own. They're becoming the go-to model for other organizations who are starting up. In the end, though, they don't want any awards, just the reward of seeing a foster kid overcome their past.
These are Missouri's kids. These are our kids. And there's nothing special about Brian and I or our family except that we know and love family. Our heart is to really change our generation, one youth, one child, one family at a time.
Dogwood Ranch is 100% privately funded using local grants, civic groups, and families to provide their services. Now,
So right as we started that, we had Tim and Amy Malia live at Dogwood Ranch, and we've lost signal on them. But this is our focus for Red Day this year. Can you explain a little bit more on Red Day, on what that is for people that are brand new with this?
Yeah, so Red Day stands for Renew, Energize, and Donate. Oops, I clicked the wrong thing. And so every year on the second Thursday of the month, in honor of Mo Anderson's birthday, who used to be our vice president and chairman of KWRI, we shut down our offices across all Keller Williams offices, and we pick a local charity to give back in our time. So last year it was, why am I slipping? What was it last year?
Connecting Grounds.
Connecting Grounds. Year before that, it was Harmony House. Year before that was.
Can you hear us? I have to interrupt. Can you hear us?
Yeah, and so anyway, yes,
Is that Tim?
I guess.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, he's back.
So,
We're here. Can you hear us?
yeah, go ahead.
All right. Can you see us?
Nicole, can you pin?
Yes. Can you see us?
You can, sort of. You're small.
Okay. All right. Well, if you can hear us, we are here on site at Dogwood Canyon. I'm sorry, Dogwood Ranch, excuse me. I know. And we have Dana here with us. And we maybe you can tell us a little bit about what we might be able to help you guys do at this location.
Absolutely. Hi, you guys. It's really true. You lose service when you come out here. That video speaks truth. So it's a little wonky. Hey, we are so excited to get you guys out here. We have got some projects lined out. Listen, we've got almost 60 acres of property out here of fencing, some landscaping, some refresh on some paint in our homes. We've got all kinds of things that we're really excited to get you guys out here and get your hands dirty. Maybe you can pet a pony too while you're out here.
You can pet a pony, you guys. So we are so excited to be here with you, and they're going to take us around and show us some more things that we might be able to accomplish. But you guys, I don't think there's a better spot for a Red Day event like this. And so for us to possibly also, you know, including some raising of some money for them and some of the things that they're heading into the next season with. And so I just can't tell you, I'm so glad it finally came about. Here we've been watching the TV this whole time, and then we finally lose signal. So I hope that you guys can see this. I hope that you can, I'll do a quick runabout. Look, we got land we need to clear back here. We've got houses we need to refurbish back this way. We've got a huge arena back there that needs a lot of work. And we've got this crew right here. The chair of our culture committee is right here.
Our screaming goat.
Yes. Do you guys hear the screaming goat? Yes.
So cute.
Amy, anything you'd like to add?
Oh, I'm just so excited. I think this is going to be amazing. There's plenty of room for everybody to show up
Yes.
and plenty of projects for everybody to really get their hands on.
Yeah. I would love it if we got like 200 of us, like the biggest, you know, Red Day event ever would be.
Bring your
so
families.
yeah, bring the families. This is going to be a really, really fun day. So I can't wait to work more with you guys.
Wonderful.
And you're doing great things. So we really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Look what's coming. Oh, wait, she's bringing out a lamb, you guys. Oh my goodness.
baby
Wait, look
lambs.
here. Oh,
go.
look, see. Oh, hello. There we go. So thank you. I'm glad that we were able to get this working. Hopefully it shows up okay on your end.
Thanks, guys.
Anything else you need?
We are good, thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Bye.
So let me figure out. Okay, there we go.
Oh, see, now you got the pictures.
That's right. So we're excited to be able to partner with them on this. One of the things that they've been talking about some, they don't have approval yet, but they want to do, you know, it's showed the homes where some of the people are living. Their goal is to try and almost do like an Eden Village type thing, bringing the small homes and make it more of a community. But that's a big thing we do every year is we give back to our community.
So it will be May 12th, so mark your calendars for that. How that will work is, since they're there, they'll get an idea of what kind of funds we need to raise, what kind of projects we're gonna have, and then we'll have sign-up sheets. And so normally it's either all-day blocks, morning block, afternoon block, and then we'll just get assigned to what we can do to help them. And so we're there all day. We will provide lunch. Normally we wear red shirts, whatever it may be, and all of the market center will be shut down. We won't process commissions, so we hope that you come and join us in that event.
So that was yes, sir.
We'll do a $1,500 match and we'll challenge Adam and their
Will you
team.
speak up?
Oh, yeah. So Varus Network will do a $1,500 match. We're pretty close to this family. It's actually Kevin's in-laws. So yeah, they're super awesome people. Couldn't have picked a better organization. But if Mark Center raises $1,500, we'll match it and then we'll get ready to do it as well.
Cool.
So the game is on. From now till May, we're gonna raise a lot of money. Mark your calendar, plan on being there. It's one of those things that you do and you're like, this is worth taking the day off. It's not really taking the day off.
Yeah.
Taking a day different from the business and pouring into the community.
Like a service down there, you might be taking a day off.
Yeah.
That's
Sure.
Maybe we need that. Okay, so that was our big thing. I know we were shifting around trying to get the signal to work. So we got several things to get through quickly. Number one, grab your phone. We're working on a project and we need your help. So on your phone, see that silly line, how it goes, stays there? Need you to go to Facebook and need to make sure you are on Keller Williams of Springfield, which I think we're going. Did my arrow go? If you're not sure which one it is, because there'll be several things, it is the one that is at Springfield KW.
It's Keller Williams of Springfield, not Keller Williams Springfield. That's the differentiation
Right.
on that.
And on that, if this slide will work for us, it'll show you exactly which one. Oops, I jumped.
There you go.
That one.
There we go. Yeah. Okay, so it is that right there, the at Springfield KW. Then, once you're on that page, make sure you've liked it. Then, go to the three dots right next to that. Once you click on those three dots, then that'll pull up this screen. And you're looking for follow settings. This means how you're following the page. And we need to get everybody that you know to do this for us. We got to get this built over 2,000 for a project we're working on in April. So under your follow settings, on the top here, you need to either say default or favorites. Either way works, but then the most important thing, you need, what's that?
I don't have that option.
I click on your follow, and then you, because I just did it.
Yeah, jump back to the follow settings.
Oh, okay.
Hit the follow settings, then jump to that. And the most important thing, go down to where it says video. I jumped too fast.
Okay.
You're gonna open video and make sure that all notifications is marked. And this is a project we're gonna work on. Our goal is to tell our story more than just here in this room. And so this is something we're working on, but we got to get our reach digitally out there more. So please do that. Do it with anybody you know. Get them connected on that. Okay, this week's focus, finally at 10:10. We're gonna jump through real quick. Language of real estate. I always say legend. These are the numbers of what's going on. We're gonna go through this a little quickly, but these slides will be available for you too. So this is current month. So month over month means this February compared to last February. Year to date means where we are taking January, February combined so far. So this is, and this looks scary when you look at it. Closed units, we are minus 18.5% compared to last February. Closed volume though is still positive. Why? House prices went up so much. Listings taken is up 11.7% compared to last February, but it's down 2.6% for the year. So combining this year, we're behind how many listings we had for last year. Listings taken volume up 40%. And for the year, counting January, February is 22. I got these asterisks for reasons. Listings sold, we are minus 21% compared to last February, minus 14% for the year. And you'll see why these are marked here in a second. Listings sold volume is actually negative also compared to last February. That should be alarming to people, right? Maybe, we'll see. Contracts written, that means and accepted. Minus 21.7%, minus 15.8% compared to last year. Contracts written volume is also negative compared to last February, but 10% above for the year. With all these negatives, closed GCI, which is the money that is paid to agents, is still up 4.1% compared to last February. So technically, we're writing more or less offers, doing less things, and more money's coming in, which in some ways is good, but not always. So this is some things I want you to look at. Stats can sometimes skew things. Remember, listings that volume, these are showing negative. That's compared to last February, which was insane. So right here is listings sold. Last February, we sold 180. This year, 142. So we're down almost 40. But guess what? 2020 was 129, 141. That is still the second biggest February ever. So keep that in mind. The numbers are skewed compared to last year because last year was crazy, wasn't it?
Yeah, so on those last slide where there's those 9 metrics, if you're wondering what you should start tracking in your business, those are the 9 metrics to start tracking. When we're talking about closed units, listings taken, listings sold, contracts written, listings taken, listings sold, those are windshield numbers. So those are forward pacing. What's happening in the market, what's happening in your business. Contracts written, that's still a windshield number, but that's going to show you what you're going to get paid on in the next 30 to 45 days. And then we have our closed units, which is a rear view mirror number. And it's like, okay, it's happened. We've received the money, but it's behind us now. We need to keep going forward. And GCI means gross commission income. So what that means is whenever you get your commission off the sale and the title company cuts a check to bring to Keller Williams for us to process, that is gross commission income. So that is before your cap coming out or any other expenses that you have coming out of your check. We're tracking that. And then as next year, like Mike said, it's really hard to compare what happened in 2021, especially in the beginning, like the first quarter, because we were still seeing the effects of 2020 and the seasonalities really extending and pulling into the next year. And so it'll be interesting as we go on throughout the year, as Mike was pointing out, of what happened in 2019 or what happened at the very beginning of 2020 before the pandemic hit, which is really crazy to think. It's been like 2 years.
Yeah,
It's
2 years
just
ago, we
crazy to
shut the
think
world
about
down.
that. But as Mike is going through these numbers, we're really looking at, okay, 2020 in the second quarter on and the beginning of 2021 was kind of skewed. So when we're looking at these, how do we look at 2019 or what was our data in 2018 and where were we pacing from that?
So taking that in mind, let's look at listing sold volume. I know this is small for some of you in the back. Remember, we were down -3% for this month. We were at 35 million in listing sold volume compared to 38 million last year. But the year before, 2020, it was 22 million. We are 13 million above that 2 years ago. Now, obviously, that's when the world started shutting down. But before that, 24 million, 15 million, 19 million. So even though the numbers sometimes look negative, realize how much more we're still doing here. Contracts written, like Rachel said, this is what's coming next month. 440. Last February was 562. Okay? The February before that was 423. Nothing else ever hit above 400. So we're doing well, but that doesn't mean put on the brakes. It means we're hitting busy season right now. Contracts written volume. We dropped a lot according to the percentages. Last year we were at 117 million. We're down to 109 million. In 2019 or 2020, we were at 82 million. That is a lot. I'm not going to do fast math.
35 million.
There we go. 35 million better than our third place year ever. It's insane how much we're doing. But again, that doesn't mean it's time to slow down on anything.
And what we like to focus on at the Market Center is the units, not the volume. So the units is showing us how many as market share, right? If we're gaining and we're taking more listings, we have more pendings, we have more closed units, it's market share because the volume is really getting skewed by the market. And that's really
Right.
hard for us to, I mean, if we look at this 20 million difference, well, yeah, but we'll also look at the average sales price and how it's jumped since 2015 and it's significant, or the last 2 years. So we really like to focus on the units because that's really going to help you in your business. Some agents are like, hey, I'm going to increase my average sales price so I can make more money and do less units. That's great too. And what happens when the market shifts for those money? So how do you get dialed in on those activities, those lead gen activities, follow-up activities, and going after those listings?
How many of you seen the movie Moneyball? Most of the men in here, it looks like. It's getting on base. It's not hitting a home run every time. It's get on base. Get the listing, get the listing, get the listing. Everything else comes after that.
Chase the units and the volume will follow.
Exactly. Okay, this is the fun one.
I don't know if it's fun. It's just like
Well,
astronomical.
it depends on what side you're on.
Yeah.
Can you make that little thing go away? So average sales price last month, which is hidden by our secret bar, $245,000 was the average sales price house for last month.
Wow.
Okay, the year before was 197. The average for last year was 230. We've gone up 13,000 since then. So house prices continue to escalate, which is great if you're selling one, not so great if you're buying one. But that's all these things are important to talk with people about. And that's why we provide this. So as you're having consultations with people and getting those employment agreements signed, you're being the person of value showing that.
And what's interesting, and I know it's kind of hard for you guys to see on the screen, but in 2015, our average sales price for the year was 162,000. 2016, our average sales price was 157,000. So it dipped down. Then we go back to 2017 and we're right back up to 162. And that's where you start to see it increase, but you don't see it increase that much. And then in the last 2 years, 2020, our average sales price was 196, and now we're already at 243. So that huge jump. And so what we have talked about a lot is a lot of the conversations around with your clients is, if I'm going to sell my house, great, I'm going to make a lot of money, but where do I go? Well, the other conversation you have with them is refinancing. What does that look like? A lot of people that's what they're concerned about, is they can't find any place, but they probably don't realize how much equity they have in their home. So having those conversations and being able to show them a CMA and what that looks like could really help them a lot.
So these next slides, these are some numbers you're going to need. How do we make it start clicking again? Can you just... I love having technology people next to me. I just point things like an old remote. It doesn't work. So how do you find your numbers? This is the way you can find your what we call multi-year trends. That's what that report comes from. Everybody's got this. So if you've been, even if your first year, it'll show nothing for your multi-year trends, but you can start tracking these things.
And what's cool is you don't really have to track them, right?
It's there.
It's coming from your production that you're closing through. So just like the reports we were showing, you have your own. So the moment that you take a listing and after we transmit, it's gonna show that you took a listing. Then as you close a unit or you had a contract written, it's already tracking for you. So you just have to go back and look at it. And one of my favorite conversations with agents is I said, I'm just so busy. I just don't know where to go. I don't have time to handle my business or go after it. It's like, well, let's look at what you did last year and let's look at what you're doing. Are you spending your time on dollar producing activities or are you spending it in the time where maybe you need to leverage that out? What does that look like? Can we get more efficient on our systems? Can we look at our time management, time block on our calendars? And so this is a great guide to go back and it's black and white, right? Numbers, it's my favorite thing. It's black and white. There's no gray in between. And so you're able to go back and see what you have done and where you feel like you hit it and where you feel like you have an opportunity to help improve.
So these next numbers, use these in your social media, use it when talking with people. Actually, not these, I'm a screen ahead. Profit share, we'll jump through these right now because I know we're running along. Active listings, county by county, last month compared to this month. And these are residential. This does not mean farms, this does not mean commercial, this is residential piece of property. Greene County dropped a ton. Christian County went up. Webster County went up. Taney County went down some. Stone stayed about the same. That's counties. Here's cities. As of yesterday, there were 118 houses for sale with a Springfield address. If you went to 250,000 or less, there were 43. That's why we're seeing the bidding wars again. Nixa doubled almost. Ozark did double. Republic went down some. Willard has 2 listings available yesterday. And we added Bolivar on the bottom because I didn't have it last month, so that's why I don't have the numbers on that. Let me get this out of the way too, to see if everybody's screenshotting. This is conversations to have with people. If you know somebody that lives in Willard, they need to put a price on their house. You know?
Actually, I'm about to list a house in Willard.
You're gonna get pounced on really fast.
Yep.
So that's the cities. Price breakdown. So this is all of MLS. What Tim and I were noticing yesterday, the houses under $100,000 are going away. Look at how many in 100 to 200,000. And it's just interesting to see the way they jump and change. We went down in 500 to 750s. Went down in the, so the higher end is actually, most of them are going down in quantity. Then we broke it down for just Greene and Christian County, more for our focused people sitting in the room here. Under 100,000, there were 21 houses for sale. 100 to 220, look at that, it dropped. And then what's crazy, 400 to 500 went up. There are only 9 houses and 750 to $1 million. See if we got one more. We don't. But the importance of knowing what's going on makes you the expert of real estate. That's why it's important to have these things, have these conversations. That's why we run a little long, because we know how important Red Day is, but we want to make sure you all got this info too. And a lot of this, I just run it on Flex. I just pull up and say, well, what's for sale in Springfield? What's for sale here? You can check this anytime, but by tracking each month, we can see trends before people other than us see it.
And the cool thing about KW is we're not teaching our agents or we're not giving them fish, right? That's an analogy that's used a lot of the time. We're teaching you guys how to fish and we're supplying you with the trainings like a win with buyers. How do you properly set those expectations with your buyers? So if you're going into a situation, they're ready to write, you have all your agency agreement paperwork, right? You're serving them as a designated agent correctly. But that's the beauty. And like 6 personal perspectives, it's commit to self-mastery. What can you do 1% better every single day to get you to where that, so you're the one controlling the market as a whole.
Look what Rob posted. Bolivar, 20 listings, only 3 under 200,000, and one of those is a fixer-upper. This is insane. Okay, I think that's the KY3 stuff. We'll jump through that.
These slides are on Facebook, right?
They will be, and I can try and share them too.
And we'll put this recording on YouTube as well, so for you to go back.
So what's funny is last month we did this and a bunch of you shared it and then a bunch of people from other brokerages shared it too. It was kind of funny. I'm like, those are our numbers. So we're having an impact in helping people even if they haven't drank the Kool-Aid and seen the light. So we're jumping through the last thing. As we talk about statistics, this is one of my favorite statistics quotes. Statistics are like bikinis. What they reveal is suggestive, but what they conceal is vital. So we're looking at numbers, but you got to dig deeper to see what the actual numbers are telling you, and that's why we go into some of this a little bit more.
Oh my
I know.
Okay, then.
The most important thing's almost here. Next week, ALC and culture. We're trying to work on what the fourth week of each month will be, so we're still working on that. Go to the next one. And the winner is, this is why you put your things in the office.
Here, that way if
Okay.
people are mad at me,
And
they're not mad at me twice.
If you were late coming in, or if you're online, we did offering buckets and everybody dropped their business card in because somebody's gonna win each week. Candy win. $20 to come and go.
Oh my God. There's lunch for like 5
gallons. All right, Tech, I don't think we have Tech Tuesday today. We can run a little long as it is. Gang, thank you for being here. I think it helps us to be in community with each other. So we're not saying that if you can't get in here that we're angry, but we just want to emphasize and focus on getting here because the community connection. Last week, did you see after team meeting? People were down here talking for 20 minutes later. So especially, please meet with our vendors, get to know them. They're here to help your business. Anything else we got?
We'll put your business cards over there because if you want them, that way you can get them back, just, in case.
Manage expenses, they're a nickel each. So,
That's what I'm here for.
all right, thank you all so much. Thanks for everybody online. Have a wonderful week.
All right.